Hello guys, welcome back. Sathorn here. This is the Daily Grind. This is Saint Seiya Awakening. Now I'm going to make a video that has been requested to me many times, even from the Chinese version. But I wanted to use it on Awakening because it's faster. What's a good build for Saga and what's a good team for Saga? Well, Saga has to be included in a team that has very good energy management, and he has to be built for speed and damage. He's going to be a glass cannon. Later on, with 8 cents, you can supply some defense, some extra defense to his build, but basically, he's going to go like this. Until the new Cosmos are released, this is how you want to build Saga. This Cosmos Stone, Tenacity, and New Moon, and whatever you want on the Legendary Cosmos. But I chose this one, Vulcan Chain, because it's a good opener for PvP fights and because it also has Cosmo Attack. But basically anything that is offensive, or if you feel that your Saga is too squishy, then you can equip a Mandala. You're going to lose some of that initial punch in the fights, but Saga is going to survive a lot longer, and well, you get extra speed, which Saga sorely needs because he is not a fast character. He's middle of the road in speed. This is something that was explained in the Chinese version in the official page, and nowhere else in the game is mentioned. Anything that is below 200 speed at base stat is considered slow. Like if your character has 100 speed, it's a slow character. Most of the builds that you're going to make with that character, he is still going to go last in the rounds. This is why Evil Saga, Andromeda Shon, and Pieces Aphrodite all have 22 speed base. They are the slowest characters. I think Thoros has 100 or something like that because he always goes before any of those. But he's also a very slow character, and you want him to be slow in a way. But anyways, Saga is middle of the road. He's in between 200 and 300 at base, and fast for the game is anything above 400 speed because that's the 10th level dungeon, like the 10th floor of Titan Ruins dimension. The bosses are all around 400 speed. So if you want to go before those bosses, your characters have to have more than 400 speed, and you can supply that. Now, since the Cosmos I have are not S grade or double S grade yet, the speed gain is not that much, but it's still important. That's 303 speed. So that moves Saga up in the ladder. And you can upgrade this. And you end up like 60 something speed just from these guys, from the new moons. The game suggests that you equip something else, but you really want that extra speed. And in fact, one of the newer Cosmos combos There is going to be a red and a blue Cosmos released in the future. The red one increases Cosmo attack stat and Cosmo percentage, both flat and percentage at the same time. And the bonus for having three of the same is extra Cosmo attack, magical attack. And the blue one is a speed, magical attack, and it also increases the magical attack if you get three of the same. And there is also a yellow one that is only defense, but if you gather three of them, they increase your critical stat for magical. But that's in the future. Currently, this is the best you can do, and you have to hope that you get a speed substat in many of the Cosmos. At least three Cosmos have to be a speed substat and as much Cosmo attack as you can muster. If you can build a Cosmos with 6 Cosmo attack substats with percentage, that's awesome. Because it's 3% each, and if you manage to build one of these with 6 Cosmo attack substats, then you will have 18 plus whatever the Cosmos gives as a base. So let's go into training hall and let's check if my support guys are up to the task. Because I have been really neglecting Luna so far and everybody else. Well, with my big guys, I'm going to win this one. But it's a Saga showcase, so I'm gonna use this one. Alright, so first Saga in place of Saori. Kiki is a must. Nachi has to go in. Luna has to go in. Who else? Who else? This is a very cheap to maintain composition, like this. Now, ideally, Luna has to go before everybody else. So it goes like this. Let's pretend that Luna goes before everybody else. Oh, come on. Well, the trick is like this. Kiki, you have to equip everybody with New Moon except Marine, because Marine needs her healing books in order to heal properly. You're going to put down in June, in Nachi, and in Luna, you're going to sink as much defense as possible because these guys have to survive. Luna should be here. And you must build this team to go like this. First Kiki, then June, then Luna, then Wolf, Saga, and Marine. But everybody has to be so fast that you get to go before the enemy team, so you can properly build Saga. And the first turn, you're going to give the double turn to Wolf, so he pumps 2 buffs on Saga. And like this, you pump Saga, you set up the defense, and then Saga just breaks everybody else. with a double turn. And Marine is there to kill low HP toons or to heal if you have taken some damage. This works, this is very cheap, and the units, except for Saga, you're likely to have them in droves. Like, it's going to be very, very rare that you don't get a Luna eventually. The storyline gives you June shards of the Wazoo, and you can farm both from the storyline. So again, so let's pretend it goes like this. Let's pretend that this wolf is June, so you first set up your defense so everybody gets protected like this, and then Luna should come and give double turn to Wolf, and Wolf gives double buff to Saga. But as you can see, this lineup still works like this. So let's give Wolf the double turn. And your Saga is going to be very, very fragile. But you're going to pump as much Cosmo attack as possible. As much as you can. Like that. But that's what June is for. That vine over there splits the damage among all the people in the team, and that's why you want to have as much defense as possible. And my Saga is not upgraded yet. Like, his Cosmos are still level 1, even if he has some S grade Cosmos. So his damage is not optimized. This is a one-trick pony though. It's very fun to use because it's fun. Saga is the flowchart Kent of Saint Seiya, as the game it is right now. He's a one-trick pony. He's going to use Galaxian Explosion on everybody every turn he gets, every chance he gets. But he can be easily controlled. Like, if he gets stunned, he cannot attack. Even if he has double turn, you're missing on a ton of damage that way. He can be petrified. He's countered hard by Algol. Can be silenced. You can use the Nero Priest to silence Saga before he attacks. That's why you want to pump Saga full of speed. So most of these counter strikes don't even get a chance to set up. But still, even without a shield up, Mu, Aldebaran, they can survive because they have massive pools of HP. Shaka has very good natural magical defense. If you face a faster Saga with better Cosmos, then your own Saga is not going to survive because you're going to sacrifice a lot of defense to set up this AoE madness. If not after the fact, it may be that a Andromeda Shun survives the initial AoE, and of course this works best against people who don't have their Saints leveled up to spec. This thing is great in the lower end of the ladder, but once you reach top end, when everybody has plus 10 Cosmos maximized with 6 substats, it's not as easy to get a round 1 AoE kill on the enemy team. So keep that in mind. Also, it's very, very energy intensive. It needs um, 6 energy just to set up. Like you're starting to, you have to equip Kiki with a fairy, so you start with 3, and then you get 2 energy from Kiki. Those 5, they go in the first initial attack. Your first round, you don't have any healing. And if for some reason any of your characters get controlled or petrified or confused or something, then you're SOL because your only striker is Saga. But this composition works for PvE and for PvP, and it works wonders. You can slot Saga pretty much in any team because he's one of the highest DPS in the game, and it's AoE, and the more people he hits with the Galaxian explosion, the more damage it does because it starts triggering defense penetration for the move. So it's this guy is crazy. This guy is completely crazy. Now, really, the only thing you need, or the only thing you are ever going to need for Saga to work, the rest is just this composition is just to cover up all your bases. Like you can set this up. You can set this up, and it's actually a better composition than the previous one. But it's way more expensive because you need 2 S cards. The advantage of the first one that I presented to you, it goes like this. If they attack Saga, then you're going to counter-strike on the next round with another AoE. Like this. And now you get even more energy, and if you want to be a big asshole, you're going to set up a second shield. But if not, you can start with this, and then you just pump Saga full of energy and finish the job. Now, if they want to counter-strike with an AoE, then Algol is going to petrify the guy who set up the AoE. They are going to hit your shields, and they're going to charge energy for Mu to have a big AoE attack on the following round. And then they are going to eat Galaxy Explosion anyways. And this is the secret to make great compositions on Saint Seiya. You have to set up at least 2 big threats surrounded by 4 support toons, so you force the enemy to choose their poison. Of course, in live PvP, especially in the Galaxy duel, you're going to see a lot of Saga banning, and that's why you cannot rely on this one-trick pony, because that's all he does. You have to bring somebody else with utility like Mu for Saga to be able to shine. But it's a one-trick pony that has one hell of a trick, and it only gets better with age. The cosmos that are going to be released later just make him crazier. Like, he was only dropped out of the meta because he's not meta anymore. Because at really, really high level, you have many ways of shutting him down on the first round. And if not, you outright kill him, and he is very expensive with the energy. But meanwhile, or even the Chinese version right now, Saga is that guy you use to catch people unaware. Like, um, if you know they're going to ban your Poseidon or Hades, you set up Saga anyways. So you have a big DPS setup for the rest of the fight. Um, so lately the banning is more around getting rid of the likes Kiki, June, people like this that are heavy support tunes. That's the guys you see banned most of the time. So yeah, Saga is a good investment. Like, you shouldn't really chase after him because he's going to be dropped out of the meta. But for farming bosses, for farming experience, for farming Cosmos, in order to do your PvE missions, in order to do your Saint Legend missions, he's very kick-ass, and his team is very, very cheap to set up. I have to finish all of this today because this is going to reset for the next week. Uh, but that's the gist of Saga. That's two teams. That's not the only teams you can use. You can use Athena just to be an even bigger asshole and give protection from death to Saga. Um, what else you can do? Well, double turn on Nachi, the wolf, just to pump him full of energy. You can even play this on Odo. What else? You can set Cancer Death Mask if you have Cancer Death Mask to go. In fact, the Trader team, it's a very cool one that also covers most of your bases, and you pretty much only need Kiki and June, and then you equip, if you have them, Saga, Shura, um, Death Mask, and Aphrodite, all in the same team. And if they stun lock or they send Saga to another dimension, you have Shura, who is cheaper to use, and if they get rid of Shura, then you can always rely on Aphrodite to pick up the slack with all that extra energy to kill the enemy team. And if they start killing your own Saints, or you kill a couple of enemies, then Death Mask has a pulls double duty as healer and AoE attacker. It's really crazy. It's not a very viable team because it's very, very energy consuming, but it's fun to use. Like, it doesn't give a lot of options to the enemy team except playing Turtle and defensive, but it's not going to work in the long run. Like, you win within 3 rounds with the Trader team, and if the enemy manages to bring the fight to 6 or 7 turns, then you still have the advantage. Even if you lose, guys, as long as you keep your the Trader team, the Trader pair of Death Mask and Aphrodite, you're golden, because Death Mask doesn't use any energy and Aphrodite is self-healing, so you're pretty much set up. The sad part is that both are very, very slow. But as you can see, this is a pretty kick-ass team. Made for farming. This team is made for farming. Like you can take out Mu, and in fact there is a minimalistic team. But I haven't learned how to take saints of the composition. Like once you set up 6 guys in one team, you cannot take people out, and it baffles me. If somebody knows how to do that, please tell me. But there is one very minimalistic team of Kiki, Luna, Wolf, Saga, and that's all you need because Saga is going to get double turns all the time, and you kill everything. But you have no healing and you have no sustain. That's why I added June and Marine to that team. All right. So that's all. That's all for this video, guys. See you around next time. Remember, in the meantime, keep grinding on.